Hey guys, so this is going to be another Predator 212 video or similar engines, clones, or even Honda engines. The carburetor is pretty much the same, if not interchangeable on all of them. So this is the original carburetor off this 212. This is the 212 Hemi. This is the trash found engine. I ended up changing the carburetor because I had a few issues with this one. This video is going to talk about how and why you change out the jets in the carburetor, or jet, I should say, there's only one. And if you pick up a Predator 224, which is the newer series, like you've seen on the wood chipper, it'll actually come with different jets and the extra gaskets. And there's two reasons you'll have to change these. 90% of the time you're going to be fine with what comes with it stock, especially if it's going to be a stock engine. You probably don't have to mess with it, it's going to be fine. But this is for different altitudes. These will make it run richer. And all it does is change the size of the hole that's inside it. You see the little tiny hole, and it don't take very much difference to make a huge difference in the fuel mixture of it. So there's three different ones that come with it besides the original one. This is just for higher elevations. Also, if you start changing like the intake and porting it, and especially if you change the cam or start messing with the timing, you really need it to run just a little bit richer to get the best performance out of it and to make it run smooth. And these aren't adjustable, whereas like on an older engine had the adjustment screw down at the bottom, you could just reach down there and adjust it out instead of changing the jet. So that's the only problem with these carburetors when it comes to like performance. I've never seen an adjustable one except for the mechanical fuel injection type one. So there's two ways you can do this. You can do it with the carburetor on the engine like this. Shut your fuel valve off first, then take this screw out right here that goes in at an angle. This will drain the gas that's in the bowl out of the carburetor, so you're not going to have a big mess there. Then you can get to this other bolt here to take off the bowl and change the jet. But unless it's mounted on a piece of equipment where it's open underneath where the carburetor is, or you can have the engine off like this and have it on a bench where you can get to it, it's going to be more difficult to do. You can tilt it back as well and work on it like this if you need to. You're not going to have no problems with the oil or nothing on these the way they're made, so you can lean it back, make sure no gas spills out of the tank. But to make the video easier to understand, we're going to work on it with the carburetor off. Just remember, this is the exact same carburetor that would be on here. Only difference is this one actually does have a mixture screw on it for the idle side. This one has a fixed jet on that part. So let's get to taking it apart. And you only need one tool, a 10mm wrench or socket, either one. That's all you need to take it apart with. You will need another tool once you get into it to change the actual jet. Again, you want to make sure to take your drain plug loose to drain out the gas, because as soon as you drop this bowl off, all the gas that's in here will be coming out. And if you don't have the fuel valve shut off, you're going to have a continuous flow of gas coming in there. So you take your bowl off, and it's a good time to make sure there's no dirt or anything starting to accumulate in there. If it's brand new, you definitely don't have to worry about that. So your jet's up inside this tube right here. Looking there, you can see it looks like a screwdriver head or a slotted screwdriver. It's actually the top of this piece right here that you're seeing. So the special tool you need is a jet removal tool. And it comes in two basic sizes, and these are for Briggs and Stratton. There's the 2-part number for them, and you want the bigger one for this. And there's two reasons for this. First of all, it's nothing more than just a special straight screwdriver, more or less, but it fits the slot on this perfect, for one. And so you can get in there and it'll fit it just perfect, so there was no play in it, there was no slop. And the whole screwdriver is skinny enough to fit up inside this tube without the sides touching. If you have a good quality screwdriver, it may fit this part without that, but you're going to have a problem with that bottoming out. You see, it's not even actually, just barely grabbing a hold of it. And, you know, a lot of times you can get by with this, but there's two things that'll happen. you'll either not get the fullest grip on this, and it'll strip out, then you're hurting because this will be stuck inside it. Or where the screwdriver gets wider, it'll actually get in here and chew up these threads, then you might have a problem getting this bolt back in that holds the bolt back on. You really want to use the right tool. There's also one other way to do this, and that would be with a regular bit like this. It goes on the end of a screwdriver. If you get one that fits it just right, if you use the biggest one, it'll work as long as it just sticks out enough to get your screwdriver on it. So you can also use that. I've done that many times. Your main thing is you want to make sure that when you put it in there, there's no play like that. If there's play in there, it's going to be more apt to strip out, especially if it's an older carburetor and it's been in there for a while. Alright, so it's enough talk about doing it. Let's just do it. So you want to get in there and line it up. Usually if it's a new carburetor or not too old, it'll come right out. But if they've been exposed to weather, and you're going to have a problem. This carburetor was actually full of water, and I'm surprised it comes out that easy. If you have trouble with one of these not wanting to run, unless it's on like half choke, clear that jet out. You gotta make sure that hole's clear in the middle of that. So you can usually get a pack of jets to tune this, or you can actually drill out the jet too. They make a special set of small drill bits that allow you just to open it up just a hair to adjust that mixture. So in this case, we're just going to act like we're changing the jet out. Drop it in there and thread it back in. Now you don't want to go super tight with this, like you'll feel it like bottom out. You get stiff, and you just barely want to turn it, just like that, just to snug it. If you get it any tighter, it's either going to break or strip out, because that jet's just made out of brass, or it's going to just strip out when you try to remove it because it's so tight. You just barely want to snug it. It's not going to come out. Then you put your bowl back on. Make sure your your grain screw is lined up in the same place it was, or if you need to adjust it, this will be a time to do it. And you may need to replace this gasket. It will usually come with the kit that comes with it, and that red seal is what goes on the bolt that holds the bowl on. So if you feel better about it, go ahead and change that while you got the part. It's the best time to do it. And you can usually reuse them several times, but you just never know if something tears or not. And again, don't go crazy with this. Just snug it out and you kind of feel it get tight. That's all you got to do. Make sure your grain screw's tight, snug too, and you're good to go. And it's almost like a trial and error. There's no set jet that you need unless you get a cam, like a high performance cam, high lift cam, and it'll may actually come with a jet or tell you which jet to use to get the best performance out of it. Something else that goes with this too is your timing key. They make an offset key to adjust the timing, the spark timing. So that may be something you need to look into as well. But this video is just talking about the changing that jet to adjust your fuel mixture, either for performance or to tune the engine in to run at a higher altitude. So, alright guys, that's pretty much all I'm going to say on here, and the carburetor will go back on like it came off, or if you didn't take it off, you don't have to worry about putting it back on. Like I said, this is just off for demonstration, just to show you more of what's going on in the carburetor. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. If you got any questions about this video or ideas for similar videos, feel free to let me know, and I'll try my best to make a video on that. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.